understand, Mr. Krabs. How can you spend $100,000 in one night?
101.
Krabs' first quarter.
Yeah, I remember that. $1 million. How long did Mr. Krabs keep that on goal for?
But he didn't need to be so freaky.
Oh wait, no,
Eugene
the $1 million
Krabs,
is like
being a penny pincher, has
came to
stacked
the
up the
restaurant.
cash for him in a big way. Well, I put my accounting hat on to crunch the numbers to find out just how rich the tightest claw in the union really is.
See how much
starting with how
Mr.
much
Krab
money he
made.
makes in a year. The Krusty Krab is Bikini Bottom's biggest fast food restaurant, and kind of the only one in town. You got a few pop-up chains here and there.
Yeah, we do got a few here and there, but the Krabby Patty is the biggest thing everybody eat at, and the Krusty Krab is a bigger restaurant.
There, sure, but nothing with the staying power of the Krusty Krab. Well, unless you want to eat the chum bucket, but who wants that?
The only reason why the Krusty Krab is doing so good is because of SpongeBob.
So let's work out how much Mr. Krabs manages to earn from his big business.
And
we know that
never
there are
come
500
back. The
thirds,
whole
and I like
Krusty
to
Krab
say
will
no
fall
one's chowing
to the
down the
grave.
chum bucket. So I think it's fair to say, being the biggest food hotspot,
Hey,
most of those citizens
the
eat
theory I heard about the chum bucket is using like slaw from like dead fish, or the chum bucket is using something, because there's no way the chum bucket is going this bad.
at least twice a week. So on average, that's 1,076 customers a week, or 180 customers a day. Not a bad attraction for a small town. Guessing what each customer spends is pretty tricky, but if we use the price of a standard Krabby Patty meal for every customer, I think that's fair. So that's $3.50.
$3?
Multiply that by
$3 not that bad.
Wait, hold on a minute.
That's like
$3.50 for a whole meal? I thought
that's not bad.
Cheapskate. That's insanely low. Bro, you know how much McDonald's charges for their meal?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, multiply $3.50.
That could seem low, but that's kind of cheap. To compare how nowadays McDonald's charge a little more for like a meal. For a meal, that a meal costs a little more than this $3.
By 180, that means the Krusty Krab makes $630 per day, or
$630 per day
$3,780 a week. Which is a total of $196,560 a business. We'll talk about this more in detail later. There are some expenses to come out of that, like employee salary and other overheads. After all that said and done, though, Krabs are taking home about $2,591 a week, which comes out to $134,732 in profit every year for the Crustaceous cheapskate. It's not all money for.
Is that what you were talking about?
Krabs, though, and despite paying little to no tax and hoarding most of his cash, there are times he has to fork out by law. And that's in the case
by law.
Crew, SpongeBob and
Squidward. Time when Mr. Guy had to pay up.
Isn't this great, Squidward? Just you and me together for hours, and then the sun will come up, and it'll be tomorrow, and we'll still be working. And the other? Not so much.
Here, please hit me as hard as you can.
Squidward, I'm working in the kitchen.
One thing I gotta say is, SpongeBob, you could work out anywhere. Why, the Krusty Krab, you probably get paid worse low than Squidward, right? Or doesn't? I really don't know.
At night.
Don't hold back.
But the real question is, how much do they get paid? Well, officially, they're on the books as getting right around $30,000 a year each. That's according to some internet rumors and the video that the official SpongeBob YouTube channel put out. But I'm pretty sure they're on a lot less than that.
Wow! That's more than I make in a year.
Don't be asking me for a raise.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he pays the pair the $30K he states he does. Well, that's as good as they're getting anyway. He certainly won't be giving them any bonuses, 401Ks, insurances, employee discount, any pay. The cheapskate don't even know what that means.
Squidward and SpongeBob make, because some of the money supposed to go to them, and he keep most of them and give them a small portion of them.
It's not the greatest gig in the world, but when it's really one of the only places to work in such a small town, you gotta get what you can get, even if you're paid well below what you should be.
I'm all out of money!
So for both of his workers, Mr. Krabs pays a very generous $60,000 a year. Although he trims and saves on them, there's another expense Mr. Krabs can't help but pay, and that's his daughter, Pearl. It's not a secret the kids ain't cheap, and Pearl's got the opposite gene to her dad. She loves to spend.
Yeah, Pearl do love to spend, and Mr. Krab be like hesitating to not give her money, but Mr. Krab gave her money anyway, and he still made more money after that. How is that even possible?
spend.
More money.
All right. You're getting more like your old man every day.
Thanks, Daddy.
Although Mr. Krabs has come up with a pretty cool way to give his daughter money without it costing him anything.
Hey, this isn't money.
No, it's even better. This is what Mr. Krabs pays me with. Mr. Krabs is Wacky Bucks.
Hey, man, that 30K expense for SpongeBob is really generous. Anyway, the point is, an average 16-year-old kid would cost you around $15,000 a year to raise. Pearl certainly ain't average, but despite her much higher spending habits, Krabs finds other ways to cut corners. So he's probably still right around the 15K mark.
What
when
is
you
it, Daddy?
that cheap
It would
like
be
Mr.
those
Krabs,
totally
you find so
slippers
much
all my friends are
way
wearing, wouldn't it?
to save money without even spending.
Yay! You shouldn't have. You really shouldn't
Tell
have.
you. See, I'm
Those are
telling
the
you.
finest fishing boots of it.
Dad, you
Who in the
ruined
right
it.
mind want wear fishing boots?
But I got
I would be pissed at my dad.
Another big expense from Mr. Krabs is that special lady.
If I were Pearl age and my dad gave me fishing boots and then tell me I have to be grateful on what he gave to me, I said, hey Dad, I'm happy that you thought of me, but why fishing boots? I wouldn't mind any boots. Fishing boots? I'm not wearing fishing boots. You could give me a regular boot. Any type of boot. Not fishing boots.
He has on his claw Mrs. Puff. See, the pair have been going on dates for years, specifically since the two met way back in the episode Krusty Love, and it's fair to say, for Mr. Krabs anyway, it was love at first sight.
Scrumptious, curvy cutie.
I see her, Mr. Krabs. A Krabby Patty with cheese.
That's not what Mr.
Not
Krabs
the
was looking
sandwich
at.
boy, the curvy cutie holding the sandwich.
No offense to her, but I wouldn't exactly call her a curvy cutie. But whatever lights your candle, Mr. K.
Obviously, he doesn't know much about her. With SpongeBob being one of her students, he gets the ball rolling for his boss.
Say hello. Oh, Mr. Krabs, just say hello.
Oh,
He's not exactly a smooth operator, is he? But he doesn't need to be. He finally spits out the fact that he wants to take Mrs. Puff on a date. So he heads on home with SpongeBob to get ready before heading out. Problem is, though, when you're taking a woman like Mrs. Puff out, you can't exactly look like you're being the Scrooge. And Mr. K definitely pushes the boat out for her.
Why you say that?
Well, this can't possibly be correct.
My mistake, sir. Thank you for pointing that out. This is your bill.
How much are we guessing then? $500? $1,000? It was a pretty swanky day.
I don't understand, Mr. Krabs. How can you spend $100,000 in one night?
101 night. Alright. That scene had been the one scene that I would say Mr. Krabs should been cheap. That would been the only scene in the whole SpongeBob universe that Mr. Krabs could have been cheap. I wouldn't blame Mr. Krabs for being cheap at that point.
100,000? I know he went way above and beyond.
$100,000?
Were
How
they
you
drinking
spent
liquid gold or something?
$100,000
You think
in
Krabs
one
would have
night?
learned his lesson
One
after spending
night?
more money than I would ever see in my entire
And
fucking
you
life?
spend more
He
money
gives
than
his wallet
what I would
to SpongeBob
ever
to look
spend.
after.
I
But
would
you know
mind
what
you
they
spend
say,
$1,000.
love makes you do some pretty
$2,000
stupid
maybe $500. For 100,000?
You're spending all my money. Puffy needs a new pair of shoes. You're breaking me, boy.
Yeah, this scene I hated. Cause like Mr.
There
Krabs,
is some good news
like
for
let me
Eugene,
tell y'all,
though. Mrs.
this scene I hated cause Mr. Krabs would literally tell SpongeBob to get him what Mrs. Puff needed, and then when SpongeBob comes back, he get mad at SpongeBob talking about, you spend all my money. Why you spend all my money? But then he's saying, Mr. Puff need this, Mr. Puff, Mr. Krabs, come on. There's no way you're doing this for love and then get mad at
Puff isn't a
SpongeBob
gold
for it.
digger, and she isn't exactly thrilled with being pampered so much.
Just don't feel comfortable accepting all these gifts. I'd rather go Dutch, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I can see why he likes her. Since this episode, Mr.
Yeah, I
Krabs and
can
Mrs. Puff
see
have been
why.
going on weekly dates for as long as I can remember.
It was
Too good for my Puffykins.
But I
and
had,
each time they
but
keep me
I
up.
still
Anyway,
don't
let's be
get
fair
like
and say that the pair
how
spent
my
about
money was
140 a
spending
week
on
on
these
dates.
dates.
Well, as we just saw from the first time they went out on a date, Mrs. Puff likes to pay her fair share. So that's $70 a week coming out of Eugene's pocket. So multiplying 70 by 52, we'll know that Mr. Krabs pays around $3,640 on dates every single year. So if we add all those expenses up, we get a grand yearly total
How much
of
that is?
$78,640. Apart from all that, Mr. Krabs doesn't really venture out and grab himself some classy clothes. he doesn't go on big vacations, he owns his home, he has no debt, and his margins for the restaurant are incredibly low, despite charging pretty much frackin' nothing for a Krabby Patty meal. So I'd say that his yearly expenses, adding everything together, is right around the $85,000 mark. Having an income is great, but your riches really start to show and grow when you tie them up in assets. Mr. K does have a few pretty big ones that are worth mentioning, like the time he set up a whole newspaper inside the Krusty Krab, and he gave himself a printing press.
You think I spent all last night assembling this printing press so you could laze around all day?
No!
One of those suckers would set you.
Why would you spend $75,000 on a printing press? Why? What are you trying to get out of that? Like, were you trying to sell like the truth of Bikini Bottom? Or are you trying to tell people what your friends are doing and spoil their darkest secrets? It's something why you spend that much money.
Around $75K. That's the second-hand used price, of course. He won't be forking around $125,000 for a brand new press.
He won't be forking that much.
The Krabby Chronicle wasn't a hit because if he had to scale up his business, industrial printing presses can go upwards of $1 million. But hey, let's not forget that he's running a restaurant here, and when you're in the fast food biz, there are some things you can't really save on. Like, sure, printing presses are one thing, but when it comes to equipment and more importantly, delivery equipment, you have to
how much money you spend.
And yes,
you run a good behind business.
There was a time when the Krusty Krab delivered.
They did deliver. They delivered the Krusty Krab pizza.
I think he's gonna need a new boat.
Well, actually, there's another boat that Mr. Krabs had built, but this is like next level.
Mr. Krabs uses it for promotional reasons.
I don't know why the frick he had this, but the paddy wagon is a hot piece of property. Not only is it a fully functional boat, but it's also directly linked to the Krusty Krab, so that raises its value immediately. The average cost of a boat is usually $25,200, but seeing as this was specially handmade and is a one-of-a-kind machine, I think this would be valued way easily around the $87,500 mark.
If
I had that type of cash in my pocket, I'd buy that sweet ride off him in no time.
Talking sweet rides, though, I know boats are cars in Bikini Bottom, but Mr. Krabs actually does own a real boat, the SS Cheapskate, which we saw when he took the boys fishing in the episode Clams.
How much that is?
Clam fishing. This is the reward we get for all our hard work. Fishing for stinky clams in a smelly old boat on a filthy lagoon.
Whoa, 32,000? Mr. Krab, come on. I was never expecting Mr. Krab to be spending this much money. I never thought of it. I thought Mr. Krab was just a cheapskate crabby crab. I never expected him to spend that much.
By no means the most expensive boat in the world. It's completely run down, and it's pretty small and smelly. So I can't see Krabs getting anything more than a bargain basement price for this, which is right around the 32 grand mark compared to secondhand boats of a similar size. Then we gotta cover it. See, it may look like a giant anchor, but it's actually a nice, cozy on home. It's got 3 bedrooms and a really spacious lawn out front and back, where you can do some.
They got enough room to like do whatever.
Little flower. You almost stepped on it.
Seeing as the closest state to Bikini Bottom is Hawaii, if we just jump on over to Zillow real quick, see that the average 3-bed house in Hawaii is about $840,000, I actually think that having a home that looks like an anchor is fun, but I doubt Mr. Krabs will be able to sell his house for the average price. And as things are only worth what someone will pay, I think we knock 60 grand off the price and get it to $780,000. Alongside the Krusty Krab, there was another food-related business venture Mr. Krabs started, and it had to do with jellyfish jelly. More specifically, jellyfish jelly Krabby Patties.
He did actually start like the jelly patty, and it was a big hit. It was.
Seeing how much of a hit the jellyfish jelly is with the customers, Krabs decides he's going to need to buy an entire factory to process the jellyfish and make as much jelly as he could ever need. Although it's not exactly the most ethical of processes.
Remember that factory?
Yeah. Mr. Krab, see, when you are filming here, you don't care how much money you spend. You really
We're not here to talk about jellyfish cruelty. We're here to talk about how much that factory would cost. In the United States of America, the average yearly cost of buying and operating a seafood processing facility is right around the $2 million mark. So it's a pretty hefty purchase for Eugene.
Bro, Mr. Krab.
When it backfires.
Exercise.
One thing I gotta say, how you this cheap?
Okay, so that business is a bit of a failure,
so
but hey,
money
he's still got a business that's a serious success,
things.
and it's easily his biggest asset.
There it is. The finest eating establishment ever established for eating.
And the crazy thing about it, the Krusty Krab isn't big assets, but the one thing that is actually a big asset is SpongeBob. Mr. Krab gotta realize, you gotta pay SpongeBob more than what you're already paying them. Because SpongeBob is your biggest asset. Without SpongeBob, that Krusty Krab is going down in the drain.
And it's a big money maker too. I mentioned it a little while ago that the Krusty Krab makes around $130,000 profit a year. If that was a business in the real world, it'd only be sold for like $650,000. But the Krusty Krab is a serious intellectual property. Actually been bought for millions in the show.
It's not a holy sweet mother of pearl. By the way, you think, Blandy, but it's gonna take a lot more than a suitcase full of cash to buy the Krusty Krab for me.
There's a lot more than that. The rest is over there.
So I think it's only fair to add a fair chunk to the overall price. I'd say if you really wanted to buy the Krusty Krab, you'd be looking at paying around $3,500,000.
So if I'm paying you $600 for an average restaurant in the real world, right? I gotta pay $3 million in the Bikini Bottom to actually afford to buy the Krusty Krab? Damn! Why that much? Why is it higher in the Bikini Bottom than the real world?
Krabs bought it back.
I'll buy it for full price.
Sold. We won't need your contract.
That's pretty much all of his big mainstay assets. So if we add them all up, they're worth an approximate $6,499,700. Here it is. The moment you've all been waiting for. Let's find out how much this Krab is hoarded away. At the time of writing, it's 2025, and SpongeBob has been on the air since 1999. So that's 26 years of approximate operation for the Krusty Krab. We know that in a single year, the restaurant turns over $196,560. So if we multiply that figure by the 26 years they've been open, that means the restaurant has done $5,110,560 worth of business over that time.
Whoa!
But we obviously have to cover expenses too. So we know in a year, Krabs usually has to fork over $85,000. If we also multiply that by 26, we get $2,210,000. Subtracting $2,210,000 from $5,110,560, we get $2,900,560 of clean, pure profit going straight into the pocket of Mr. Krabs. But that's not even everything. We know he's got $6,499,700 in assets. So that means Eugene Harold Krabs' total net worth, which has been built on the backs of other people, stands at $9,400,260. Not bad at all. And just think, bottom suddenly.
I thought he was a billionaire.
Krabs
close to a billionaire, but he ain't a millionaire.
Well, that's all the nautical finance
but that is a
we've got.